Hey there, it's Jill Blanchette with Green Thumb Stampers and my second alternate for the lovely Lavender kit from January. We're going to make a slimline card this time, a mini slimline. And again, I'm not using the words in the kit because I need to make some variety of cards, so I'm using the perennial postage again and using the Mother's Day. This card, you will need one of the polka dot envelopes. You'll also need one of the cards with the flowers on the bottom. We will use this piece in another card, so save that. And to put this little strip across the center, I did cut up one of these envelopes as well. And to open the envelopes, just trim a small amount off from each side and the bottom, and then that will give you the part. This one's only printed on this inside and the flap. So I thought that I was going to use more of that envelope, so you may choose not to waste the envelope for this little piece, and then I'm putting a piece inside. I cut it up for something else as well, and then didn't end up using the whole thing, so you might not want to waste yours. But we're going to start with a 7" by 6 1/4 inch piece of crumb cake and score it on the 7" side at 3½ inches. Burnish on that fold. And then now to make the card more usable so that you can get more pieces out, I made my white smaller. So my white piece is 3 by 5 3/4. And then that will give us a bigger border of the crumb cake. But it also will help maximize that we can cut this card in half and get 2 pieces across the card. And the same in the envelope. We're not going to use quite as much of the envelope either by cutting them smaller. So that's my reasoning there for making these a little smaller. And now my sample, I cut the card a little bit smaller than this even. This is half. This is 2 3/4. This one I cut at 2 5/8. And you know what? I think I'm liking that a little better. I was trying not to waste the card, but I think I am going to cut that down 2 5/8. Try and cut both at the same time. See how well that does for me. I think I like the bigger white border on that one as well. So I got a little piece from the card envelope to trim off. And now we are ready. So I'm just going to glue these onto the white. My glue dried up while I was goofing around getting this card ready. So poke it with a needle. If your fine tip gets clogged, just poke it with a needle in there and you'll be good to go. So I'm eyeballing my measurement to make sure that it looks like it's the same all the way around. I'm not that precise of a measurer. You probably know that by now, so line those up. Looks pretty good. And then we're going to put this little strip of the envelope across the center. Now, you could do this card last, because on my next card, or my last card, I'm going to have you make your paper. And so that would have some extra left over that you could use here if you want to save your envelope. And that's why we're making the paper on the last one, so that we're saving the envelopes. No sense in using them up. They're so cute. We will use them for the actual cards. So now I've got the twine, and I'm just going to wrap the twine around a couple times. Tie a bow. Oh, maybe not. Have enough there. Got to make sure you got enough to hold on to. I just saw a bow making tip too I should be passing along, and there. All right, so now let's pull these, and I'll show you another little tip. Cut that off. So you can see that it's a little bit, I'm going to leave it over here. If I want to put the bow over there, I just bend it a little bit, and then that frees up my string to move. I like it on this side this time. I'm going to leave it over here. But I'm going to show you a little something you can do. You see how it's a little bit loose? You can go ahead and like tighten it on the back, and then use a little bit of Scotch tape. I have the tear and tape handy here. I'm going to tear off a little bit, and then just get it pulled tight on the back, and then glue your excess down, and then it won't. Or you can pull it one direction or the other. Let me show you that too. Like pull it up so that it's tight, and then glue it down. And then it's tight across the front, but it's not going to go anywhere. Now we're going to glue that onto the front of our card. And remember, we've got a bigger border, so we're just going to eyeball, make sure it looks like it's the same all the way around. It's that. For the greeting, I've got a white square at 1.5 and a shaded spruce square at 1 5/8 inches. We're going to use some gorgeous grape. And I'm going to use the Happy Mother's Day on this one. See if I can make sure it's on there straight. Got our Happy Mother's Day. And then we're going to just glue those two together and add that to the front of the card. This piece can also come if you do this card last. I also will have extra pieces from the paper that you're going to make of your own. You're not going to need to color the whole thing, so you'll have some extra white like in the center that you can cut things like this out of. And we are going to just stick this up on the back, or on the front of the card. Move our bow over a little bit. Let's see. I got 2 dots, 2 dots. Or it'll go right about there. Pull our bow up. Fussy with it a little bit. Get my loops the same size. Pull it tight. And then for the inside, I've got a 3 1/4 by 6 inch piece of white. This will not be extra from your card you're going to make the paper for, so you will need this paper. I'm going to glue that down to the front, and then I've got 2 strips left over from the envelope. I got to cut down to 3 1/4. So again, you'll use the envelope, or if you wait, there should be some extra paper to make these from the last card. I just was designing that one and redoing some measurements, so I got all these done ahead of that one. But if you don't care about the envelopes, then you can go ahead and chop away and use it for this one, and then save yourself the trouble and use it on the last one too, and you don't have to make your own paper. That's an idea as well. But this one is done now. Pretty quick, pretty simple, but just as cute as ever. I'll be back.